Well, all right, people. So I want to talk about a story that's been in the news a lot about this Georgia black man getting murdered. And of course, whenever you see it on the media, they put it as, well, Georgia black man gets murdered by two white men, trying to insinuate that it's a racial thing. So, I mean, if you see the video here, I mean, you could pretty clearly see that, not clearly, but it seems by the video that these two people who um, are responsible for this killing were in the wrong. I mean, so their story is that they saw this guy. There was like a string of robberies in the area over the last few months. They saw this guy walking through a construction zone, or they heard he was walking through a construction zone, and they thought this was the guy. And they decided to perform a citizen's arrest on him, except you can't perform a citizen's arrest on somebody in the state of Georgia unless you physically see them committing the crime, which they didn't. So it was an unlawful arrest in the first place. And it's really just really dumb, really stupid to get in the back of your fucking truck and drive up to somebody who you think committed a burglary and try to arrest him. I mean, these people are morons. I mean, guys, if you ever see somebody burglarizing a home or committing a crime like that, or you think somebody is suspected of it, don't get out your fucking gun and try to hunt him down or try to stop him. Fucking call the police. That's what the police are for. I mean, some people are just really fucking stupid. And these two people that did this are. So people are going to say that they're guilty, but everybody does get their day in court. It does look very bad for these two people. My guess would be that they are guilty, basing it on the video, but that's why we have trials in America. That's why we have the notion that you're innocent until proven guilty. So we have to wait until the trial, because I'm sure there's more information on this. So you can't just say, oh, they're guilty. It looks like they're guilty, but that's why we have the rule of law and our great judicial system here in America. Now I want to talk about, again, the racial aspect of this, because a lot of people are saying, oh, this is racial. And I want to read a tweet here by LeBron James. So LeBron tweets in regards to this incident: "We're literally hunted every day, every time we step foot outside the comfort of our own homes. Can't even go out for a damn jog, man. Like, WTF, man? Are you kidding me? No, man. For real, are you kidding me? I'm sorry, Ahmad. Rest in paradise, and my prayers and blessings." So this is just another stupid thing to do. So obviously the two men who went after this guy, stupid. But this response is stupid as well. Um, to say that you're literally hunted every day you go outside is just statistically wrong. It's stupid, and it's a moronic thing to say. And then for the people that are insinuating that it's a racial thing, again, whenever it seems like whenever something bad happens to a black person from a white person, it's automatically racism. Racism, and the media loves to stoke this racism claim. They love to stoke this idea that we live in a racial America, and that there's some kind of institutional racism against black people. So whenever there's a chance that something may be racial, of course that narrative is pushed to the fucking moon. Um, and again, here's LeBron saying, every time we go outside, we're hunted. Really? That's something, because last time I checked the homicide report from the FBI statistics, black people account for half the murders in America, even though they only make up 13% of the population. And a big portion of black people that get murdered it's actually black on black crime. So I really don't get what LeBron is trying to say here. He should really go read the FBI statistics. Um, and so even if, let's say it is racial, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Nobody knows. So it's wrong to really say. Even if it is racial, it's one incident. It's not institutional racism. It's one incident. And we all know that there's bad people. We live in a country of 330 some million people. There is going to be some bad people. There's going to be some people that believe in fucking Adolf Hitler. There's going to be some people that are racist. There's going to be people that are radical on all spectrums of the political divide. So to say that, well, this one person represents the whole of America. Oh, America is such a bad place because one person did something bad. No, you got to look at America as a whole. And individual acts of racism are obviously a bad thing. They should be condemned, and they are. But there's a difference between that 0.01% of people doing something bad and then what we had like 100 years ago with the Ku Klux Klan hunting people, where you had a large portion of the population that held racist beliefs. So it's a tragic situation where this should have never happened. Very dumb to confront somebody who you think may have burglarized somebody. And think about it. You're running down the road, you're going for a jog, and you see two people pull up beside you, blocking the road with guns. Somebody's in the back of their pickup truck with a gun. I mean, you're gonna act you're gonna be pretty fucking scared. That's not the way to fucking handle the situation. Call the police. They're the professionals. Now, if you see an act in progress, and that's something different. That's something different. Or another way to do it, like if you see somebody driving drunk down the road, you don't fucking take it in your hands to deal with that situation and arrest the guy. You would call the police, follow the guy, or you see somebody steal a car. You don't confront people like that. That's just a stupid thing to do. Let the professionals handle that. And these people are playing like fucking hero or whatever the fuck. No, don't try to defend those people. And they weren't even legally justified to perform a citizen's arrest. So their whole basis of telling this guy to stop, they want to talk to him, they want to perform a citizen's arrest, totally faulty. But the whole notion that this is a racial thing and in America is such a racist place, like LeBron said, is another lie too. So the act is wrong, and a lot of the reaction to it is also wrong as well. And they did say that these people weren't arrested for a couple months, and it's important to note that these people were former cops. The one was a former cop, and I believe the other one was like worked in the government, local government in some form, I believe. So it's another possibility that the reason that these people weren't arrested sooner is because they had connections within the local government, and the government was like, "Hey, we're not going to prosecute these people because they did work," which is terrible, obviously. So it's important to look at this from all aspects and not just look at it from one aspect. You got to look at the whole picture, and you cannot just jump to conclusions. You got to wait till the evidence comes out and things like this. It might be racial. It might be local corruption, which is just as bad as racism, in my opinion. Of course, that's probably not as big of headlines in the media. It won't make him as much money, but I think it's just as bad as racism. Local corruption within the government. That is terrible as well. So you got to look at it from all sides of the spectrum. You got to take into account all factors. The Democrats just really like to look at one side of the story, or just people in general, not even Democrats, but people in general just like to look at one side of the issue. Like with the coronavirus lockdown, they don't take into account the secondary effects from it. It's only, well, we might save a few people from dying from coronavirus, so it's worth it. But they don't, follow the science, guys. These lockdowns are going to save people from dying from coronavirus. But they don't look at the other issues, like people may be dying because they're depressed, because they don't have a fucking job, or the fact that poverty causes premature death and leads to an overall higher mortality rate and earlier death in worse health outcomes. They don't look at those issues. They don't look at those sides of the issue. Only one side. So you have to, when looking at anything in the political world, or just the world in general, you have to consider all everything, the whole picture, which people really don't tend to do. So there you go, people. There's my thoughts on that.